Version 2.2 is coming on the 27th of March, and it is hiding a lot of information from us. Let's start with everything new that has been mentioned, and then we'll cover all the questions that were answered from the program about what is really going on in Rinascita. For the new quests, we are getting a new main quest, yippee, and we'll be heading to the inverted tower, which we finally learn is the Avinoleum. There will also be a new exploration quest available called Should the Shooting Stars Blaze, and this quest will take place on the inverted tower and will be available once you finish the main quest. There will also be a companion story quest for Cantarella with her release, and that will take you further into the Phasalia family history and the Sea of Ghosts. Two new Resonators will be joining us, Cantarella, who we've known for a while, and finally Aero Rover. Now, we did believe Aero Rover was a thing when Abby tried to absorb this, then we learned that this is actually a fusion power from the Dragon of the Dirge, but then we learned that the relationship of this to the Imperator is symbiotic,
She and the Tidebreaker share a symbiotic relationship.
which is another way of how the Codex mentions the Imperator can split. So the same Aero power is actually seen in various locations.
Mask! Copy!
All right, Abby, you're away.
Mask! Copy!
Aero Rover also confirms two more things: that everything relating to Homer's Iliad and Odyssey is indeed true, and the order of Rover's remaining elements is more likely to be Aero, Electro, then Fusion, and finally Glacio. But that's something I'm saving for Wuthering Waves in 2028. Along with Cantarella is her new jellyfish rectifier called Whispers of Sirens, and along with Aero Rover is the free 5-star sword Blood Pack's Pledge. To obtain Aero Rover and the new sword, you need to complete the main quest coming in the new version. And for the lore lovers, we know that Rover will materialize a sword in battle, and we've heard the laurel and sword mentioned in the essay of the Regnesi drama, so that means the sword is materialized by the Imperator's symbiotic nature, and since we know Aero power is from Thermodian, that means the Imperator is actually the... Anyway, Aero also comes with a new Aero erosion set called Gusts of Vulcan, which is in the Wuthering Waves script, but since we're all Kurobots here, we can read this language. And if you cannot read Wuba, well, there's some homework for you. The translated text reads, Aero damage plus 10%. Very nice. The 5-piece bonus says, inflicting enemies with Aero erosion increases Aero damage of all resonators in the team by 15% for X amount of seconds, stacking up to 20 times. Now, I don't think it's going to stack up to 20 times, but it will most likely boost the team, which is a buff for Gian and making Phoebe a viable option. And this is because Rover can convert negative statuses when casting her resonant skill while in mid-air. That is quite important to note. There are some new echoes as well, 6 common echoes, 3 of which are from the Order of the Deep, and 3 drakes which are probably related to Gehinnom. There's also a new 3-cost echo that I know solo leveling fans are going to love. Gehinnom will also be a new tactical hologram enemy, so yeah, good luck with that. A new addition I'm really looking forward to, mostly for the grind, is the titles that can be displayed on your name card. Much like the sigils, but this is an actual text. So with this being added, we're surely going to see an update that allows us to unlock these sigils pretty soon, right? For new events, Camellia will be rerunning along Cantarella's release, and Shorekeeper will have a rerun later on. Version 2.2 will be shorter than the usual patch period, so expect the banners to possibly overlap like we saw with Gian and Yenlin in version 1.0. Right, then we have the new gameplay events that are coming. We have a platformer with a bit of lore relating to Black Shores and Rinascita. It seems as though Black Shores can now freely collect data in Rinascita. There will also be a new co-op combat event with Dorothy returning. This is something that we have seen before, but again with some upgrades and updates. Then we have the main combat event called Virtual Crisis Prototype Trials, which comes with nodes that adjust the difficulty, and there will most likely be challenges based on that difficulty. There are some minor optimizations that are coming, like being able to use your level up material boxes directly from the upgrade screen, adjusting the contrast and saturation of your game, downloading smaller file sizes more efficiently. The biggest piece of news is Wuthering Waves is coming to Steam, which is just an absolute dream for the player base and the popularity of the game. This will allow us to see reviews and a portion of the player count. You should wishlist Wuthering Waves now just to boost that algorithm. Alright, that sums up everything that has been said. Now let's talk about what has not been mentioned. Avinoleum Theology Seminary. The first time we've seen this name is from the version 2.0 special program written in rinascita's transcript. And now we finally know it is the name of the inverted tower. If you try to find a translated meaning for Avinoleum, you'll probably figure out the entire story. I've tried for a very long time, and the best I could come up with is a made-up combination of Ventus, Avid, and Ceruleum from the Latin language. Avinoleum seems to be a Latin word. The three symbols of the Avinoleum are most likely referring to the seal of the Dark Tide and the divinity associated with it, something similar to the seal of Atlantis. So way back here, some of what was said is turning out to be correct. And when we turn to Cantarella, her banner is literally called Neptune's Lullaby. Neptune is the Roman name for the Greek Olympian known as Poseidon. Poseidon, who we know is the god of waters, the sea, and horses. Now, just like Heartsathea is the embodiment of Hera, Euleithia, Jesus, and Aeos, Cantarella is the embodiment of Poseidon and Styx, the sea and the abyss. So if you ask me, the only thing Wuthering Waves needs to do to become a nominee for Game of the Year is show that Rinascita is the perfect embodiment of ancient Rome. It is the most incredible story writing we have seen for the longest time in games. We've also had a sneak peek of the bard with the name on screen because I'm not going to butcher the pronunciation. She has the same symbol as Fleur-de-Lis, and since the Chronicles of Avinoleum include some pieces from Septimont, it's possible that she is from Septimont. It's weird, Carlotta says Raguna, but Phoebe, Rochia, and Brun say Rinascita. Usually we see the city as the birthplace, not the country, unless we have not been to that country or city. The final piece of information is the Threnodian and the Dark Tide. Earlier we mentioned the connection of the Imperator to the Threnodian. Well, there is a bit more to it. When the Imperator speaks in the trailer, we see swords and the Dark Tide. On the sword that Rover dodges between is inscribed Sentinel of Rinascita, Glory to Imperator. And this is wielded by Capitanius, the same figure that has the mechanisms we need to play around with in the Avinoleum. So this means the original Imperator is most likely to be the Sentinel, which seems to be Electro, and the Dark Tide is the Hippocampus, which is the Imperator according to the Order of the Deep. Now, where in the world does Electro fit in? Well, Electro in Wuthering Waves is not lightning, it is the electron. The original word for the electron is Electra, which means amber. Yes, you heard correctly. The color of amber is Earth. The goddess of earth is Gia, dressed in green with green eyes. When Wuthering Waves, this is the girl that is here. So if she is an Electro-Resonator, then she is an embodiment of Gia, and she is the original Resonator of the Sentinel. And we should expect her to release after Zani, because it seems that this is also the roadmap for the order in which the gacha characters will be released. That is all for this video, lots more to come, so let me know your thoughts below, and I will see you in the next video.